What's up, guys? Welcome back to a very casual episode of the BFit Brothers podcast. Casual in nature because we're still going to be hitting you with some hard-hitting fitness information that you guys have come to crave.
And if you're wondering why we're here, you want to tell them or should I?
We're getting the gym steamed. So today we had a big class and we polled everybody and we asked them the top 10 questions they had regarding fitness. And these are the ones they asked us. Whether you choose to believe that or not is up to you. Whether we pulled them from Google, who knows? That's up to you guys to decide.
It's going to be rapid fire, so.
It's going to be rapid fire, and these are 10 things that pretty much everybody that starts working out or works out even asks at some point.
And a lot of them are going to surprise you, the answers.
The answers may shock you. But anyway, as usual, welcome back to another episode of the BFit Brothers podcast. I'm Victor. That's Milk Breath.
If you hear some pounding or sounds in the background, that's our local dump. Things being dumped in there.
There's no dump. We're not affiliated with any dump.
That.
We're not affiliated with any dump here. All right, number one is going to be, what is the best workout for fat loss?
Now, are we each saying our answer, or is one of us just starting and then?
Yeah, we could just talk.
Best workout for fat loss. That's such a complicated question in a way, but if I had to simplify it for someone, I would say it's not like there's a specific workout you can do for fat loss, but what you should be thinking about is making sure that you're doing some sort of resistance training, aka lifting weights, or some sort of strength training. That's non-negotiable, number one. And number two, it would help you to do some cardio as well. Notice how I didn't say you have to do cardio. And the reasoning behind that is because you need to be stimulating the muscles in some way so that it boosts your metabolism. As you're losing weight, you're not losing muscle, which is precious and helps you burn calories at rest. So when you say best workout for fat loss, I know you guys are expecting some sort of like, well, you know, type zone 2 cardio technically burns the most fat while you're doing it, but you shouldn't be thinking like that. You should be thinking, what can I do to allow me to look the way I want to look, to boost my metabolism, to burn body fat and not just lose weight? And the answer is what I just said.
And that's a good one to start, because the big misconception is, and we get it all the time, people are like, I'm going to do some cardio, I'm going to run a little bit so I can lose some weight before I start strength training. And like he just said, it's completely the opposite of what you want to do. So do your strength training, and then, you know, the rest will come.
I would also add that it's not about what the best workout to burn fat while you're doing the workout.
Exactly.
You got to think about the big picture, because if you said what's the best workout to burn actual fat, like to use fat, it's actually a super low intensity. You can argue that at rest, you're burning fat technically for energy. I know that's getting into the weeds, but that's not how you should be thinking about it. You should be thinking about it from the big picture type of thing, where it's like
build muscle,
make sure you're exercising to burn more calories, and then of course nutrition is what's really going to allow you to lose fat or weight.
All right, let's move on.
That's
question number 2. How long does it really take to see results? And then that's a very broad question, because what are
they're
results?
all so broad, and they're also like, it depends.
Generalized.
Yeah.
And this one, I would want to start by saying it's goal dependent. Like, what do you consider results? Immediate movement on the scale, is that results? Like, do I see visible abs? Like, what's results to people?
Well, if you jump in the sauna for an hour, you're going to see results.
Exactly.
You're going to lose some weight.
So I would say results
is the answer. Next question.
What I would want as results for me to say to somebody is like dropping 5% body fat.
I mean, the question is framed in a way where it's like, okay, results for most people, it's like leaning out, losing weight. It could be getting strong, could be getting better at your cardio because you're running a half marathon or whatever. Either one of those, what you have to understand is that it's the central nervous system and the nervous system in general that adapts first. So what I'm trying to say is, do not expect that your first few workouts are going to give you the results you want. Like, you're not going to start losing weight actually, weight loss, you actually might lose some weight.
Especially if you're completely sedentary. That's why this is such a broad question. Is this from somebody that's completely starting new? Is it somebody that's already an advanced trainee? Like, all these questions are dependent.
We can say this for sure. You're not going to do one workout and then the next day wake up and you're getting the results already. You're going to have to be in this for the long haul, at least a few weeks.
They always taught us that the first 2 to 3 weeks is what they call neurological adaptations, which is basically what you've said is getting your body used to, hey, look, this is what we're going to be doing.
The body's learning body's learning the movements. If you've never done a lunge, then in the beginning you're going to be shaky all over the place, and then all of a sudden you start doing lunges. Your body has to learn how to do that, what muscles to activate. And then eventually it's gonna be like, okay, I get it, and now we can really hit those muscles harder. So that's in the sense of strength training and resistance training. When it comes to cardio, I mean, same thing. It's getting used to the idea of running or cycling, and then eventually after a few weeks, you really start to get those like actual cardio gains, or you feel like you're not breathing as heavy, and you're starting to run a little longer, maybe a little faster. So I would say expect the first few weeks to start seeing results. That's a nice, safe, universal answer.
Universal soldier. All right, question number 3 is gonna be, do I need supplements to get in shape? Everybody's trying to sell me something. Do I need creatine? Do I need protein powder? Do I need collagen? Do I need pre-workout? What do I need to get started on my fitness journey?
By the way, get these at our shop, werbefit.com/shop, maybe?
If that's not right,
let's put it somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think the key word here is need. Do you need any supplements? No. That's a pretty objectively no. You don't actually need anything. And like we always said, I think we said it in our last podcast maybe, 90 to 95% of your results are going to come from like basic things that are not supplement. They're habit based, and supplements are just like sprinkling a little bit of help here and there.
Yeah, I think we've said it was like less than 1% of the pie of gains is dependent on your supplement intake. So the only time I would recommend something like even like protein is, again, going back to what you said, it's not necessary. You don't need it at all. But if you're the type of person that doesn't need a lot of protein, or you don't have a lot of time, or you tend to be protein deficient, we do recommend protein shakes. But like I said, it's not necessary.
And that's the thing. For example, I don't think most people reach their protein intake. It's very hard for them. So if that's the case, then even for me, like I'll just have a protein shake as my breakfast, because that's the only way that I'm gonna get to my protein goals without having to like eat a giant meal, actual food in the morning that's gonna give me 30 to 45 grams of protein. Like that's very hard to do in the morning.
Yep.
So in that case, yeah, you need a protein shake, but you can get away technically without it. It's just gonna be easier for you.
Exactly. Convenience, folks. That's the name of the game, especially with the protein
Also,
shakes.
we have to mention, if we're talking about supplements, that the majority of them are BS and they're unregulated, so just be careful. And really, we only stand by a handful, being like creatine, whey protein, and a few of the other little like vitamins that they sell, but that's about it.
Yeah, but definitely the big two are gonna be the protein powder and creatine.
That's it.
But back again, I can't say enough, you don't need any of them to see gains. Question number 4, is lifting heavy gonna make me too bulky?
Yes, don't do it. Avoid
Next
it at
question.
all costs.
Don't lift. Next
I think
question.
this one, I'm happy to say that it's a myth that's been busted, and I think we have a lot of people to thank for that, like solid fitness professionals on social media, and even like women, because no guy cares about, oh, is this gonna get too bulky? But women definitely do, and for a long time they avoided weight training because they thought it was gonna make them bulky. It's very, very, very hard to get bulky. Even for a man, and for women it's even harder because you don't have as much anabolic hormone production, so you absolutely don't have to worry about that. Now if you're eating like a beast and working out 6-7 days a week, like bodybuilding type of training, you might bulk up a little bit. Again, this is calories in versus calories out. That's going to determine whether you're bulking or not, but it's actually, I think women are surprised when we tell them it's actually going to make them slimmer and leaner, which is what they want at the end of the day, most people.
Now, does a modality of exercise, because some people would say CrossFit makes people bulky, is there any validity to that?
So that's a great question, and it's not necessarily the CrossFit itself per se, it's the volume. And what we mean by volume is the amount of exercise that you're doing. In the CrossFit style, they're packing a lot into a little amount of time, and they're doing it like every day, basically, at the elite level. That plus performance enhancement drugs is what leads to those girls freaky looking girls that you see at the competitions. It's true. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous.
I'm believing that.
It's gone insane. I mean, you could put one of them here.
But you guys might actually get bulky if you trip and fall on a pile of needles with anabolic steroids on them.
That's true.
So be careful, guys.
If you do find that pile, let me know where it is. I'm looking for some.
Question number 5. And this is a weird one, weirdly phrased, but
we're weird people.
That's true. What's the best diet for fitness?
Carnivore. Next question. Okay, so this might be the most polarizing question of all time in fitness, and you're gonna hear all kinds of things, but I think that the way to think about it is, what can most people agree on? What is like most research and most like professionals, what do they agree on? And that is
real foods,
eating mostly like minimally processed foods. You can't avoid processed foods altogether, that's BS, but mostly whole foods, a lot of protein, and limiting ultra processed foods, I think, is your best bet, and limiting alcohol.
Don't touch receipts.
Don't touch receipts at all.
Yeah.
Let your
Limit
kids
your
touch them.
alcohol. Yeah, let your kids bring your grubby little receipts in. Limit your sugar and try to avoid alcohol. I mean, sadly, we try to preach having fun and balance, but realistically, we know what a few drinks leads to, and it's the Taco Bell drive-through. So,
Diarrhea.
that too.
And of course, like every question here, it's too broad of a question, because if you're preparing for a marathon, it's not the same diet as somebody who's like morbidly obese. Like one of those would have to eat like a good amount of carbs and the other wouldn't. So when you say fitness, it's way too broad. Same with like bodybuilding, but I think for most people that are listening to this, they're basically trying to get stronger and lean out. So our answer would suffice for them.
Yeah, just eat a lot of protein, eat good quality food, whatever,
And try to avoid anyone who's like too dogmatic about what they're telling you about. Like, this is evil, that.
Keto is the
seed
way.
oils are horrible. Don't eat any carbohydrates at all. Like, they're terrible for you. Like, that person's full of shit. So
Exactly. Listen to us.
we're trying to sell you something.
We're not trying to say anything,
We're not.
except maybe this kiss.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Question number 6. How much cardio should I actually be doing?
How much cheese is too much cheese?
Exactly. There's never enough cheese. But I think people ask this question because they either A, don't want to do any cardio because they don't like it, or they have that classic fear, which we've talked about in our prior podcast, that it's going to affect your gains.
My question to every question of these is, who's you?
You
How much
know,
question should I be doing?
you.
It's like,
Let's assume
well,
it's
if you're
for
running a
general population.
marathon,
No,
I
stop
know,
running
I know.
marathons.
I'm just
People aren't running
saying.
marathons. From a
Hey,
general perspective.
Oscar is. Shout out to Oscar. He listens to all the podcasts. He's running marathons. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna assume that every question is by the average person who just wants to lose some weight,
Yeah.
get strong, general fitness. And the answer to that is, according to the guidelines, official guidelines, 150 combined minutes per week
Now,
of
can I knock
aerobic
'em-
activity.
Can I knock them all out in one bout?
I mean, the honest answer is, I just saw some reports this week actually that kind of like shits on the whole zone 2, do this much zone 2.
I
There's
saw that
actually
too.
not a lot
Yeah.
of research behind zone 2 versus other zones. So basically, to keep it even more simple for people, if you enjoy high intensity intervals, do high intensity intervals. If you enjoy more of like a steady state, if you like cardio equipment or going out and like hiking, rucking, something like that, do that. I would say, how much cardio should I be doing? God, it's all these questions are so broad.
So
My
nuanced.
brain can't pinpoint it down. I would try to get at least 2 minimum sessions a week. That would be my advice for most people. And I'm assuming that you're doing also weight training. If you're not doing weight training, what are you doing? We say
Yep.
it every time. Do it. And I guess you could do more cardio if you're not doing weight training, but 2 to 4 times a week, I think, is a safe bet.
Yeah, because cardio also tends to be strenuous unless you're swimming or doing some sort of machine that's low impact. Cardio can be, for the most part, people tend to see it as like running,
But that's okay, though.
cycling.
And it's a myth that like all that it's gonna be bad for you. I mean, there's runners that run 6 days a week and they're fine.
Are they though? Let's look at those feet runners. DM Julian pictures of your feet if you're a runner.
David Goggins just ran a 200-mile race.
Oh, Derek Goggins has mental problems.
200 miles, though. Think about that for a second.
I
Took
saw-
66 hours.
Question number 7. Do I really need to stretch?
I love this one. No, you don't.
All right.
This is a
next.
controversial answer, though.
Oh.
I am a contrarian when it comes to stretching. People are gonna, yes, beat me up in the comments, do whatever, but from all the research I've done in all these years in the industry, I'm a firm believer that unless you're like so tight that it's affecting your day to day, you can get away with not stretching and doing good full range of motion strength training, and you have all the mobility and flexibility that you're gonna need. So I think stretching personally is overrated.
Now, does it
People
mean I
are
have
gonna
warm up?
disagree. You do have to warm up, but that's not stretching. That's
So you
different.
mean I don't have to hold this stretch before I play basketball?
Absolutely not. As
Oh,
a matter
wow.
of fact, it's
Huh.
worse for you.
Huh, fascinating. So something more like mobility drills, things of that nature as a warm-up. Is that what you would recommend?
Throw mobility drills into your warm up. You can even throw them as supersets as well if you're doing like a good strength training program. And then of course, you should be cooling down a little bit after your runs or after your cardio or weight training. Ideally, nobody does it, but you can throw some stretches into that, especially the areas that you are struggling with. That's what I would do. I would just do it right after your training.
Once you're warmed up. Okay.
Yep.
Moving on. Question number 8. This is a good one. You're gonna love this one. By the way, he hasn't seen any of these. Is soreness the sign of a good workout?
Yeah, the more sore, the better.
Chase the sore.
No pain, no gain.
No. Next question.
DOMS.
All right, you want to riff on
If
that?
you know
a
what
little
DOMS is, put it in the comments and see how knowledgeable you guys
bit?
are.
Oh, come on, guys.
There's a few of you.
DOMs. And if you're a sub, put that in the comments too. So go ahead.
You can answer this one.
All right, is soreness a sign of a good workout? No. Now, because you're sore, does that mean you had a bad workout? Also no. But you shouldn't be chasing soreness is, I guess, the underlying theme of this. You might be sore if you hit leg day a little too hard or you go up in weight, you hit a new PR. You might be sore if you're completely untrained, you will be sore. That doesn't necessarily mean that you had a better workout than a day that, let's say, you're not sore. Because the body gets used to it, the body acclimates faster than you might think. So stop chasing soreness. Just because you were really sore in the beginning and now you're not, does not mean the quality of your workouts has gotten worse.
Especially if you're pushing yourself and putting a lot of effort. At the end of the day, training adaptations, the results that you want all comes from how much effort are you putting into your workout. That doesn't mean you have to go to failure. That's not what I mean. It just means that if you put an adequate amount of workouts and you're following the plan, of assuming that you have a plan, hitting your reps, hitting your weights, and you're not sore the next day, you're okay. But it's a tricky question because then they could just say, oh, I don't have to try that hard since soreness doesn't matter. Well, not really. If you're never sore, you're probably not training as hard as you should be.
Yeah. So basically, don't chase it, but you should feel some tightness, especially like you said, if you're pushing yourself, if you're actually like going to your limits, you're definitely gonna feel, either soreness or some sort of DOMS.
Depends on your workouts too. Like if, a lot of our clients do total body because they're coming 2 times a week. If you're doing total body, you're not gonna be as sore because you're not hammering specific muscle groups. But if you're doing, like you said, a leg day, like 8 to 10 leg exercises, I guarantee you're gonna be sore the next day. So it depends on your workout format as well.
Yeah, and if you're doing some sort of hamstring exercise and you're not sore the next day, then you probably didn't go heavy enough. Because those suckers get tight. Oh, God. So I really have to answer this again. Question 9, guys. How do I stay motivated when results stall?
Stay hard.
You don't gotta get ready if you stay ready.
I mean, this might be one of the more complicated questions. It's so different per person.
My answer to this would be, how do I stay motivated when my results stall? Is what we always preach about here. Get a community, find a good coach, somebody that's gonna push you through these times, because we say it all the time, consistency over motivation. If you just tell yourself you're the type of person that works out, whether you're seeing results, whether you're tired, all of these things may come into play. As long as you're showing up and you have a support system that makes sure you're doing the right thing and they generally care about your results, you're gonna be okay. Because it's hard to depend on yourself and it's definitely hard to depend on your own motivation.
I have a unique answer. I would say you're not only working out for results. I hate this whole idea of, oh, I'm not seeing the results, so what, you're just gonna stop exercising? No, exercise should be ideally a non-negotiable part of your routine, right? And sometimes, let's face it, you just had a baby or you're going through a particularly stressful period. You're not working out to get lean and get really strong at that point. You're doing it, basically it's damage control for mental health, to have an outlet. Like, I hate this whole idea of, I am focused on the specific result, and if I don't get that, well, then what? Well, that's my question to you.
You're gonna stop?
So there's been plenty of times in my life where I'm just on maintenance mode. I'm just working out, because guess what? If you're not working out, you're losing something. You're losing muscle. You're getting weaker as you age if you're not training. So I would say, like, don't think about it as motivation or results. It's, I work out, period. Discipline over motivation. You're gonna work out no matter what. I'm seeing results, I'm not seeing results. Just work out.
Just get drunk. All right, let's finish off with question number 10. What is the single biggest mistake beginners make?
Single biggest mistake.
I have an answer, and my answer is going to be their expectations are too high.
Damn, I was gonna say that would have been one of my top ones.
Stole mine, stole his. So I think if you temper your expectations, again, this is where a good coach comes in. You come into your consultation, you tell them you have a wedding in 2 months. They shit on you because why are you here with only 2 months of time? No, but seriously, they give you a game plan. They give you some realistic expectations, what to expect when you're expecting, what you can look forward to, a time frame, all these things that a beginner lifter, we had somebody, we've talked about it before, come in and they're like, my son needs to put on 20 pounds in a month. And we're like, that's not gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And it's completely unrealistic. And then what you do is you set yourself up for failure if you start with these super high expectations.
I'm trying to think if there's another beginner mistake. Going trying too many different things without giving each one enough time to give you results.
That's a good
So
one.
this is a big problem in the age of social media, because you'll try something, but you'll only do it, you know, motivation fades, right? So you'll be really motivated on January 1st, and you'll try this thing, this diet, this cleanse, this challenge, and then 2 weeks later, you're a little bit bored, it's starting to get tedious, and then some influencer start talking about this thing. Well, let me try that. Well, guess what? That wasn't enough time for you to really have experimented with that, because it takes time for your body to adapt. So stick to something. That's one of the biggest mistakes that people do, is they just program hop, or they diet hop, or they're doing one workout this week, but let me try another one. The dirty little secret with fitness is that it's a little bit redundant. It's a little bit, I don't want to use the word boring, because I'm not bored of it. I've been doing it for 20 years, but it's the same things. Guess what? Yes, people come in here all the time. Lunges again? Yes, you have to do the same exercises over and over again. That's how this works. You know, if you want to get better at something, you repeat it. So give whatever it is that you try, do only that, and give yourself some time. Now, if you're already advanced and you want to, you know, have a lot of variety in your routine, that's fine. That's okay, but just understand that that isn't the best way to see results. But it's a way to stay fit.
But even advanced lifters, yeah, they might sprinkle in some variety. Like,
I'm thinking about like the class passer. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about like the, you know, the girl that lives in this big city that likes to do Pilates and yoga and also strength training. It's like, fine, if that keeps you motivated and like you enjoy that, that's okay. But understand, you're not gonna get like elite at any of those things. You're gonna be kind of a generalist.
Okay.
But I see what you're saying. Like an advanced like strength training person needs even more to stick to a program as opposed
Exactly.
to like variety.
Exactly, because that's when you really start seeing the plateau and stop seeing those instant gains that you see when you're untrained.
All right, I'm cramping up here.
All right, guys. Well, this was a little bit of a different episode, not just as location, but format-wise. If you guys liked it, if you enjoyed it,
We're not doing it again, so
we're not
I
doing
don't care what
the
you
poses.
say.
No, we're not doing the poses. But if you have more questions, if you want us to do, we'd like to do this like every 25 episodes or so with just a fresh batch of questions. So if you guys have any other questions that you want us to batch up, you know where to drop them. Send them to the comments. Do not text us. Don't do it. And with that, guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Beef It Brothers podcast. Old man noises. Tengo el culo mío.